Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. All the mothers and side mothers and, women even that wanted to be mothers. Or even men sometime. You get a little itching down inside of your body. Maybe you've had a strong casserole or something. And you feel it quake a little. And you're like, damn, is it twins? And then maybe it's just his chili powders, strong chili powders that was in that recipe. But happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful women and that humans climb. This is Evan Bartels.
Mother, may I open my eyes? 'Cause there's a great big world waiting right outside. Mother, may I raise my voice? Do we the people have that choice? Mother, may I rest my head? Though I did not try my best. Mother, may I sip the wine? Though I did not tend the vine. Oh, death, you can come for me. Oh, death,
Hit her, man.
You can't comfort me.
That hit her, man, and you can hear the rest of that song, and it picks up, and that's a beautiful piece by Evan Bartels, The Devil, God, and Me. And man, I talk Happy Mother's Day to everybody, man. Look, this is I didn't mean to start off kind of somber like that, but life is like that, Life is like a damn. What is life? What is it? People out here eating little rabbits. And they tuck it in their jaw, and they get that sugar for themselves. That's what life is, that turnstile, man. It's that lazy Susan. But it's nice to know that wherever it spins or stops or speeds up or whatever, it's nice to know that there's a woman there for you, And so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And all the women, and all the sons, too, man. It's a hard job, dude, out here being a son. Because a son, man, we will fuck up. Dude, I remember when I was young, man, being young, boy. Mom's coming home. You would hear that. Dude, I'd be knee deep. We would be making mud in the tub. We used to bring soil in from outside, rare soil, or just even regular soil. And we would bring it in from outside and get it in. 2 hours worth of soil. And we soiled up. You know what I'm saying? We're ready. We got the we got 2 foot by 4 foot of the damn Mississippi Delta sitting right there in the bathtub. And we cut that water on, bro, and make our own just mud. And we'd be just making mud cakes, mud pies. And my sister, she made like a dang, a couple layer mud cake with the fondant, with that fondant icing. I'm like, damn, bitch, what are you doing? This is just mud. We can't eat this. And she would write happy anniversary Henry in it. And I'm like, who the fuck is Henry? You're 4 years old. What are you doing around this neighborhood? But we had some times, man. But then once you heard one kid somehow would find out, they would get a thing in their head. They would see the clock or whatever. Oh shit, it's almost 5 p.m. That's when mom gets off work. And that means it takes mom 9 minutes, unless she stopped to have a little cigarette. Then it take her 13 minutes to get home. Because sometimes mom pull over behind the bank and hit that freaking, you know, get that little Winston in her. Get that chirp. Get that upper, you know, that light upper that's going to help her, you know, come home and not, you know, whip the kid's ass immediately. She will hear the children first. And man, mom would come home and we'd be like, fuck, man, we got to get rid of this mud. Because now you got, before it was soil, but now you added that water. Now it's heavy mud. This shit is alluvial. Because we were just children. So we're just sitting there just throwing mud out the window, bruh. Sand, mud. It had all kind of just toys in it. It had a bottle of that Suave hair conditioner. Remember that shit with the pineapple on it? Dude, I'd leave the house smelling fucking Polynesian. I'd have bees coming over. I stuck in it and he fucking went out the window. He's airborne. You know Daniel, bruh. You know, he makes his own choices, but they're not good. And so, man, I remember then mom would come inside and beat our ass, bruh. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. You paying $170 a month for rent in a 3-bedroom, and these kids fucking brought about 50 pounds of fucking mud up into the tub. Dude. Because then what happened after that? It went into the pipes. Then we couldn't use the toilet upstairs. Then everybody had to use the toilet downstairs. And the toilet downstairs right by the dinner table. So you'd have, you know, some fancy Fauntleroy wants to slip off from dinner. You know, mom's grilling up a couple hot cakes or whatever. You know, maybe a couple slices of bacon, you know, a couple lean pieces. And then some fancy fuckeroni gets a little quake in his gurney. In his girder, in his belly, and he wants to slide off to the side and use the toilet. And dude, it was just, we fucking ruined mom's life. But dang, she kept on with us. She kept on with us, man. You know, mother, may I rest my head, though I did not try my best, man. That thing hits me. You know, music's pretty wild, isn't it? Lyrics and music and things we say, like, because I know this guy, Evan Bartels, you know, he's a man, right? He's a human man. If you hit him with an axe, blood going to come out and maybe, you know, some tendon, right? He's a regular man. But the recipe inside him puts these words together and he learns a way to present it, and it just... And that song's pretty beautiful to me. And that's Evan Bartels, The Devil, God, and Me. And I had the opportunity to meet him. We almost, over in Kansas City, or Omaha, I think. And we almost had him play after a show one time, but we couldn't find a venue. But next time, we'll do it right. Thank you guys for being here with us this past weekend. This is a little bit of a sad day for me. This is our last time in this studio. We decided to get a different studio that has a little bit more room. And man, it's happened so fast. It's almost like I haven't really had a chance to really just be with it. You know, just to sit in here and just kind of feel the vibe, man. A lot has happened in here. I remember coming out of the kitchen and thinking, man, what am I doing? Moving into a studio? What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm talking about. And then we got in here and I brought that Chris Farley picture out of my apartment, the nicest picture I own, and put it in here. And I was pissed, dude, every time, because I'd sit at my dinner table at home and be like, damn, I wish I had that Chris Farley. You know, it really tied the room together. And this is Fighter and the Kids' old studio. And we came in here, man, and we didn't give up. you know, and I feel pretty proud, and I want to thank you guys for being just supportive and being on board, man. That's what's up. You know, yeah, it's Mother's Day. We got a lot of calls. I'm not gonna gabble too much. But yeah, I feel like I have a lot on my brain and stuff, but I've been experiencing a lot of stress this year. I know I talk about that. I know I complain. Basically, I just complain a lot, and I'm trying to get out of the complain. I'm trying to quit eating the complain grain and just, you know, move on. So today I'm gonna keep it about you guys. And we had some calls because really everything's okay, man. It's just my perception. I just need to look at things differently. And when I get stressed out, I need to ask for help, or I need to ask why I'm really stressed. You know, and when I start getting grumpy, I start thinking people should be doing stuff. Anytime I think somebody, for me, anytime I think someone should do something, something's wrong with me. Because people are gonna do what they're gonna do, you know. And when I start getting expectations, I don't like living that way. I don't like being uncomfortable. You know, I don't like being uncomfortable, man. And I'm just not gonna be that way. I'm gonna try to find active ways to solve it. Dude, so I'll update you. I've been off the sugar, you know, and I've been off of it, and man, I'm lean as a damn, you know, you know, and I'll show that right there. You can see my arm, a little bit of, I don't know if that's muscle or just kind of like part of the way that my arm is, but you know, I'm getting real leaned out. And you'll see hungry dogs look over at me like if I know anything on the street. Dude, I don't fuck you looking at me for, man. So I'm starting to look like Santa's little helper when they found him on The Simpsons. Remember that? Remember that episode when they found Santa's little helper and he was skinny? It looked like he just been eating just air puffs and just drinking Idea lattes, you know? Just having nothing, just maybe a bowl of just invisible, you know, flake muffins. Nothing. He had nothing on him. And they were racing him. The people down at the track was racing that dog and making him run. And dude, it's hard to run if you don't have half a muffin in you. If you don't have half of a real muffin. And they made that damn dog run, and that shit, I remember, just brought the tears right out of my eyes. I mean, like somebody was collecting salt water right out in front of me. And my eyes said, hey, I got a little bit for you. Let's get into a couple calls, man. These are all about Mother's Day. And I appreciate you guys. 985-664-9503 is always the hotline. Our Patreon, on behalf of our Patreon, we sent flowers to all the single moms that we've met over the past year and a half. So we sent flowers and chocolates to all of them. So thank you. And we got a lot of nice texts and responses and some pictures. And, man, it really just lifted me up. It made me feel really, really good. And we put on the card, thank you from the whole TPW family. So just wanted to let you guys know that. Not trying to brag or anything, just trying to let you know that, you know, that we don't give up on our moms. You know, and I don't give up on my mom. You know, it's like we don't give up on our moms. You know, it's hard. I think it's hard in this world to, you know, I think it's hard. Life is hard. It is a real battle. It's a beautiful battle. But you know, the thing they don't show you with a baby, every baby come with a sword and a shield. And we don't give up on our mothers, you know. And so we don't do that here. Because it's hard. Everybody's just trying to survive, you know it. Let's get into a couple of calls, man. Onward.
What's up, Theo? My name is George. Thanks for the opportunity to shout out the most important woman in my life. Her name is Sarah. She was born in Syria, moved to the States in the late 80s.
Okay. So you got that Syrian Sarah. You got that imported, baby. You know? You got that fancy bottle, it sounds like. You know, you got that Aunt Jemima. That shit, you know. Aunt Jemima you knew was good. It came inside of a freaking urban lady. And you know they serving that sweet sauce. You know, and sometimes you get that log cabin light, and you knew that shit was squeezed out of a fucking pine tree. You know, that different hitter. Let's hear more.
She then popped me and my 2 older sisters out, and then she got a job working at a grocery store. She still works at that same store. That's 22 years later, man. One day I was looking over some tax information for her. I was looking at a pay stub of hers, and I noticed a reoccurring deduction. I looked it up and saw that it was a charity that she was donating a fraction of her paycheck to. So for 22 years, this woman who wasn't really making all that much money in the first place had donated over $3,000 to an organization that helps feed and, you know, educate underprivileged families. I mean, I couldn't believe it. But at the same time, knowing who she was, it made perfect sense. Every good quality I have is because of her, so I just want to thank her. And I want to thank you for the time.
You bet, man. That's very sweet of you. Yeah, that's a beautiful message. You know, moms do that. They keep something away. You know, they hold something off on the side. Sometimes it's for us, sometimes it's for somebody else. You know, and a lot of moms, you don't realize, you know, moms help out the other kids in the neighborhood. You know, you don't realize sometimes an extra pat on the back or putting your hand on a young man's neck and just telling him he's doing a good job. You don't know he might not be getting that at home. You know, and a mom can do that. Sometimes it doesn't have to. I mean, it's nice when it comes from your mom, but man, even that secondhand, you know, that secondhand affection is very powerful. And I think a lot of moms, they don't even realize what they do. You know, even on a group level. You know, and thank you for that message, man. That's a nice message to hear about for your mother. She came here an immigrant. And she stayed and got it done. You know, and that's hard work. And there's something nice too. You see, you know, the lady you go to, you see her at the grocery store and you learn a little bit about her life, or you see her at the, you know, the place she works at, the market or whatever it is, the bank, the, you know, CEO, whatever it is. It's nice to see somebody there year over year. You know, so kudos to her. Sound like you have a beautiful lady in your life. Let's take another call.
Gang, gang, Theo. My name is Jesse. Just calling for Mother's Day, man. Want to share a story about my mom. So,
thank you for calling, Jesse. And happy Mother's Day to your mom.
When I was a bit younger, she actually sent me to rehab for a whole year.
Hell yeah, dude. That's a wise mom.
And that was really helpful for me because, you know, it saved my life. Essentially, I was addicted to them dark arts, you know.
Oh, yeah. Man, I feel you, dude. The dark arts have been thinking about me recently. And I can feel them sometimes. You see, you know, maybe you'll have a little bit of soup and you'll hope there's cocaine in it. That's dark arts, you know. Or you'll hear a bird or something, you look out the window and hope it's some, you know, a little bit, some titties or something, you know. And that's when you know that, you know, you got a contusion in your fusion, man. In the way your brain is meddling around. Your brain's playing Othello with Voldemort. You know, your brain's out there playing spades with who's that man? It's Professor Snape. Onward, brother.
But that's just how it be sometimes, man. She sent me to rehab and, you know, saved my life, man. So, you know, your mother's there to save your life sometimes, I guess. Gang, gang. Hope you're doing good, man. Thank you.
I'm doing good today, man. And hearing that just makes me think good, you know. I talked to my mother this morning, and thank you. And that, you know, it is important your mother sent you there. You know, that's wild. Think about what she had to let go, you know. And it's funny how our perception would be like, man, my mom sent me to fucking rehab. But think about her. You know, taking something that you care about so much and having to let it go somewhere like that and just being afraid. And, you know, it's so crazy. I wish we had a button where we could press it and immediately we could put ourselves into the other person's shoes to know where they're coming from. But yeah, and especially when we're young, we don't know. It's hard for us to register any of that, man. When we growing up and you doing all kind of stuff and busting nuts and everything and, you know, stealing and looking in people's windows and shit at night, you ain't thinking with a level deck. So that's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful tribute to your mother right there. I'm glad that she sent you and you sound healthy and well, man. And that's cool. Because the pills, the drugs, that shit, they don't care. Them things, dude, they don't have a heart in them. Bro, you crack open a damn 7,000 milligram of fentanyl or whatever, or Dilaudid, bro, you won't find a vein in that bitch. Those things, they don't have a heart. Let's take another call. Here we go. As always, the hotline 985-664-9503. Here we go.
Hey, Theo, this is Hannah from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hannah from Atlanta. Dang, this sounds like somebody out of in the thong song, you know. Hannah from Atlanta got that thong.
I love your podcast. I just wanted to tell a quick funny story about my mom. She is the strongest person I know. She's amazing. She got divorced and then actually recently remarried, and it's good to see her happy again because she hasn't been happy for a long time. But
isn't that powerful? Isn't that powerful seeing your mother happy? You know, I didn't realize, I mean, I talk sometimes, you know, I'll tell the story in my show. My mother won a perm one time on a radio when I was young. And it was the first time after that I saw my mother there was a moment where I just saw her have happiness. And I'd never seen her be unstressed before. I'd never seen her be, you know, just not concerned or worried. It was just one moment. It was just a look in her eye. It was just a moment. And man, I remember it just had the whole world felt different to me. There's something that happens inside of a son specifically, and I can't speak for a daughter because all I got inside of me is male DNA. I mean, I might have a little, you know, I might get a little bitchy around I got that DS booty, you know, and I got that urban girl booty, but otherwise I think I'm staying, you know, masculine. But there's something when you see your mother get to be at peace, that it lets you be at peace. It's like you can't, a son, I don't know if a son can be at peace if their mother isn't at peace. I don't know. I just don't know if it can happen. I don't know if it's built into us that if your mother is stressed or overwhelmed or worried, even if it's just all in her head or whatever, that you can't find. I could never be at peace until this one moment I saw my mother relax, and then I was like, oh, what is this? This is a new air that I'm in. Let's hear more.
I just wanted to tell a story about, I think I was about 12 years old. She took me roller skating for the first time. And I was extremely scared because I hated doing stuff like that. I was always afraid to get hurt. So we go roller skating, and I immediately, as soon as I start, I fall right on my ass. And she skates by me backwards with her middle fingers in the air and her tongue sticking out at me. And she's always just had the best sense of humor, and I really admire that about her. Anyway, just wanted to say I love your podcast. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang, that's crazy. I hit you with that fucking stick, boy. Your mom hit you with that magic stick right down the middle. That's beautiful. That's so funny. You know, it's funny when a child has a moment where they fall down or something, there's like a moment there where if your reaction is a certain way, they'll react a different way. I see that sometimes, you know, if you seem overly concerned, then they'll keep crying. If you like make it funny or it's okay, then they can kind of make it's okay. It's like there's these kind of teaching type of moments. And that's just what I noticed. I could be wrong. I don't have any children, you know. But yeah, when you're 12 years old, that's hilarious. What a funny story. What a cool mom. That's such a cool mom. Man, that's cool. Yeah, my mom always dropped us off. She never really came in with us to do stuff, I don't think. But I think also I was at that age, at that point where I just didn't. You don't want your mom around at some points. You know, you start to want to be away from them. It's just like birds, man. If you look at birds, if you watch March of the Penguins, you know, human beings, a man and their mother, a boy and their mother, just like March of the Penguins. You know, the mom goes off to wherever, Seattle or whatever, and she's trying to get a little bit of fish from this guy or this guy, or trying to, start her own little start her own little catchery or whatever, just snagging fucking carps or whatever, and she fills up. And she comes home and the baby gets that, she drops a little bit of that frickin', that saucy exhale right into him. And he gets buffed up and he starts doing weights and shit. And the mom goes off again to wherever she goes, Vancouver, wherever a lot of these birds are at. And some of these birds out there thoughtin', to be honest. But anyway, decent penguin women go to North Pole, whatever, eating Santa's leftovers up there. And then they come back, and now they come back and the kid's getting older and he's fucking, he's doing cigarettes, or he's, doing dice or whatever. And his mom's like, well, she's trying to vomit into his mouth for comfort, and he don't want it. He want to do his own shit. He want to go watch the Iditarod with his buddies, or go thaw a couple bitches out. But then the mother still loves that boy. She don't give up on him, even though he's trying to leave the nest. And it's very similar to humans. Very similar to humans overall, if you look at like a chart. So, but that's a beautiful mom with that fucking roll. To be able to roller skate and flip someone off, Jesus Christ. Who is your mom? Christy Yamaguchi? Sounds hot. Thank you for that call. Very sweet. And it's nice to know that you love your mother. It just makes me feel good. Oh. We were taking some of our Patreon questions and putting them in. I'm going to answer this one right now. This is from Quinn Hassan. And gang from down under. And this man saying from Australia. And I used to think people said, I'm down under. I thought they was a mechanic. They was doing oil changes. I'm from down under. But that was, that's when I was young and didn't know as much. Or I knew just less than I know now. Quinn asked, how often are you getting recognized now that you're blowing up on a global level? Like, can you go out and still be left alone, or is there always someone asking for a photo, etc.? I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and find it really bizarre watching you spread organically through the world. Literally never even heard of you 5 months ago. Then a couple months later, you're that popular. We struggled to get tickets to your Melbourne show. Amazing. Well, I will say there are still tickets available to the Adelaide show in Australia, and that's in a couple of weeks. I think that's it. Well, thanks for the question, Quinn. I appreciate it, and thanks for your Patreon support. That's how we do all the helping out the single mothers. We're going to do some other stuff. We have our game plan on there. What's that been like? Yeah, I have met more people. I meet more people. But, I'll say this. The people I meet are people that I feel like I would want to meet anyway. I don't feel like I'm meeting like a bunch of I feel like there's like substance, kind of like everybody I meet, I end up having just like a conversation with if I can. I mean, at shows, it's a little harder because, there's just a lot of people at once and you just performed and it's kind of exhausting. And I like to put it all on the stage. I like to do what I like to really, I'm not just trying to sell tickets. I'm trying to get people to the show because I want them to see the show because I worked hard on it. And I want them to have a good experience. But yeah, it's easier to meet people, but it's easier to meet good people. That's one thing that I've noticed. If I feel like somebody's out of control or they're, real fucked up or something like that, I don't engage in a lot of that type of stuff. But everybody I meet seems to be pretty respectful. Some things have gotten a little different. Like, I got a message from like a pitcher from the Dodgers the other day on DM. And he just, he was like, hey man, I'm a big fan. And I was like, dude, you're a freaking pitcher for the Dodgers, dude. Like, don't you have, aren't there batters out there right now? Don't y'all have something to do? But so things like that are kind of interesting and kind of flattering. But then I really get scared about my ego, you know? I really get scared about my ego, because I'll start noticing that, I start noticing in my head, I get a little bit more demanding about stuff. And I don't like that, man. I don't like, I don't like, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. And that's just ego. Some of it's stress, some of it's ego, some of it's just being tired. Which is why I'm excited. I'm excited to go to Australia. I'm taking 6 days and I'm going to Bali. Bali, not the fitness club. I'm going to damn Indonesia. So somebody, my buddy Simon Rex said it was a good place, and so I'm going to go. I just said, fuck it, I'm going. Found me a place on there, travel advisor, and I'm headed to Bali tomorrow morning. So I'm taking a break. But yeah, it's interesting. Popularity is interesting, but I don't want to be popular. I want to do something, and I don't know what that is sometimes. Popularity doesn't. At the end, there's not really a value to it. It's exciting. I'm grateful. I know that me and Dustin Poirier are going to do a show down in Louisiana later this year in Lafayette. That's going to be a fundraiser for his area. Stuff like that really makes me feel good. Just me, getting to, I don't know. It's interesting. I just think that the ego is very dangerous. And so I'm very nervous about, more people getting excited. I'm excited, but I'm just trying to be careful because I don't want to just sit around thinking I'm good. And that seems to be like a side effect of something that can happen. I want to stay in motion, and I want to, I don't know. I just want to be okay. Because popularity also seems like a very dangerous thing. So, but with that said, I'm very excited that people are coming to the shows. And the people that I meet are good people. And so I'm excited to meet them, man. But thank you for that question, Quinn Hassan, and thank you for being a part of sending all those flowers to all the single moms that we followed up with all of them. We'll put some of the texts. Some of them sent me some nice texts. Some of them are still coming in. Anyhow, another question that came in. This is from Stefan Borglik. I want to say Borglicki. Thank you, Stefan. I'm sorry I'm butchering your name. Have you ever grown a big beard, or would you? Dude, a big beard. Look, I saw this guy on a bus one time in Tucson, and this dude had his beard. He had it dug out. And one time I saw him, and he had a thing of cigarettes in there, a pack of Pall Malls in there, and a lighter, and he had it tucked down into the beard so he could reach in there and get the, get his little sustainability sticks and just get that hit, get his nerves level. And then I saw him probably 7 months later in Tucson, because I used to ride the bus in Tucson. I used to ride the 3. I used to ride the 7 to get over to Wilmot Avenue to go. I was busboying over there. And this is when I was busboying out in Arizona. And, dude, I was on creatine, and I was a fucking bus boy, dog. I was a bus man, dude. Bro, when you doing creatine to bus boy, you're gonna do good, okay? I was the only person at City Grill Restaurant out there in Wilmot and Tanque Verde over there in Tucson, Arizona, who was fucking yoked to get those plates, boy. Get those cups. Oh, you didn't finish your bread? I don't give a fuck, boy. I put it in this bus bin. Half a steak, half a cookie, a little bit of ice cream, melted in a bowl, poured in, put the bowl in. On to the next table. Dude, I would hit so many I would hit the next restaurant, bruh. They had a Ralph and Cacoo's down the street. I was fucking in there doing shit for them, freelancing, bruh. Our dishwasher was like, where are these from? You know, and that was a French accent, so don't even come at me. I do French how I want to do French. But dude, it was wild, man. I was a bus boy. And now you got these bus, they don't know, I don't know. Oh, can I get you some more water? And I'm like, dude, I fucking brought my own water. I pull a pail out of my shit because I still stay bus woke, bruh. Damn, sorry, that shit got me heated up. Have I grown a big beard or would I? I would. It's scary, but I think I would. Let's take another couple of calls here for Mother's Day. Here we go.
What up, Theo? This is Jake from San Diego. Just wanted to share a mom thought with you and other past weekenders. Back in the day, my mom had a blue Aerostar minivan. It looked like Bart Simpson's shoe.
Yeah, bro. We had that van, dude. Bro, one time my brother and I thought we could keep the van closed, the door closed, if we put a whole bunch of fucking super glue on it, right? The little tubes. Remember that scary shit you finally found out your mom had? The real kind of stuff? The stuff that was holding your parents' marriage together? That little tube. That, you know. And we put as much of that as we could on the van door and closed that bit. And it worked, bro. It worked for about 3 months. So we had to get in the back of the van and in the front door. My mom was so furious because she had all her cookies and newspapers back there for the delivery route. So, you know, we'd be leaving over the back seat, fucking snag a snickerdoodle, you know, snag a fucking sports section, and I'm out there. I'm 9 years old, you know, learning about them Wall Street journals, bruh. And have, you know, and getting sugared up before the day. But yeah, mom beat our ass for that, boy. But we love her, man. Let's hear more.
One night it was stolen, but the police found it a few weeks later.
Oh, yeah. Police always found that Astro van. Thing be burnt out. Some graffiti in there, you know.
By the border. This dude took all the back seats out and got caught bringing people over from Mexico.
Ooh.
Now, my Dukes didn't have a lot of money, so she just had me and my siblings put lawn chairs and folding chairs back there. And she wasn't the best driver either. It was like a rock tumbler full of kids in there.
That's hilarious. So no seats in there. He said it was like a rock tumbler full of kids. That's hilarious, man. Dude, that's great, man. Let's hear a little more.
It was fun, though. It was a lot of fun, man. Safety wasn't as big of a concern back then, you know?
Yeah, safety wasn't as big a concern because you found out who cared about you. Somebody put their arm over you. You know, you ride on your brother's lap or your older sister's lap, and they would hold on to you, and you felt loved. And then they made the laws. You got to have this piece of cloth that don't have any feelings. At least write something on the seatbelt that lets you know you're cared about, you know? I'd be an arm if I could. You know, I do care about you even though it doesn't feel like it. I want you to stay safe because, well, you know, I got feelings. Like put some stuff on the seatbelt that at least, but nah, man, they make the law and then you gotta have the stupid strap. Now you're just sitting there by yourself. You don't know if anybody cares. And you got to live through the accident you're about to be in with the, you know, in the car. Back in the day, dude, you had, you know, especially if you were the little family member, little Chauncey or whatever, you know, little fucking Darnell or little fucking, you know, Betty. They had somebody they'd hold you down. If you've been bad, somebody hold their hand over your mouth for 9 miles while y'all going out there to Land of Pines campground to get a couple grill meats and do the water slide. Man, you had it. And that's how you knew people cared, bro. You got to the damn wherever you were going, and you had a bunch of lipstick. Your sister's been kissing you 1,000 times. Your tender brother's trying to date a little bit. He's slipping you love notes, but he's been holding on to you with his legs for 40 minutes during the ride. You got but you felt cared about, and you were safe. You probably got in 9 accidents on the way there, but you didn't need a seat belt. You know, you just needed to be just loved on, you know, and that kept everybody safe. It was different times. Safety wasn't as big of a concern, you know, but then different things happened. That space shuttle blew up and that really shook everybody in that. But these lawyers, man, they'll fucking ruin it all. Thank you for that call, man. Let's take another call. But first, this past weekend is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators. With more than, creators, it's underlined. With more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more, you'll discover countless ways to fuel your curiosity, creativity, and career. Take classes in social media marketing, mobile photography, creative writing, or even illustration. Whether you're looking to discover a new passion, start a side hustle, or gain new professional skills, Skillshare is there to keep you learning, thriving, and reaching those new goals. Join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my listeners. For our listeners. Get 2 months of Skillshare for free. That's right, Skillshare is offering this past weekend listeners 2 months of unlimited access to over 25,000 classes for free. To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/TheoVon. Again, go to Skillshare.com/TheoVon to start your 2 months now. That's Skillshare.com/TheoVon. And it's a great place to experience, learn if you want to have a new experience with a new skill. Go there, listen to something. Oh, maybe this isn't something I cared about. You want to do claymation. You want to do art. You want to learn to, work at the senior center and do the superpositories, putting vitamins in a senior butt. Do it. But watch the videos first. Learn the instructionals. Learn your life, man. We love you here. Oh, let's take another couple calls, man. I'm really enjoying this. People sharing stories about their mom. Dude, it must be fun to be driving that rock tumbler when you're a mom, Skating by with that middle finger out. Sending your son off to rehab. Lots of stuff moms do.
Theo, gang, my dude. It's Andrew from Lafayette, Louisiana. I just wanted to call.
Andrew from that Laffy Taffy, boy, over there. Where it's a soup. Everything's a damn soup. You step in a puddle, bro, and you pull out, and you got a bunch of, you got a recipe written on the inside of your shoe. It is good food over there in Lafayette. Onward.
Call in with a story about my mom. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. So back in 2008, I was at Bonnaroo watching Pearl Jam.
Oh, hell yeah. He's on that dust, on them drugs. Let's hear it.
Catching that buzz.
Gang.
I got a little too wasted, and I lost my wallet. So the next morning, my mom calls, and she's like, "Oh no, you lost your wallet? Oh, you lost that Sam's card?" She wasn't concerned about my driver's license or my debit card or my credit card. She was concerned about that Sam's hitter, that Sam's Club card. Anyway, it's always been a funny story we tell. Just wanted to share it with you guys. Take care. Gang, partner. Later.
Gang, man. Dude, that's hilarious. That's such a mom thing. You lost that Sam's Club card. Because that's how moms think. They're thinking, man, how's he gonna get 76 fucking cans of grilled okra? How's he gonna get 45 pieces of squash that are carved in statues of Lance Armstrong? Where else is he gonna be able to do that? Only at Sam's Club, right? They used to have live animals at the one over in Vermilion, Paris. They had live animals at the Sam's Club. So you could get a fucking carton of eggs and then pick up the mother that made them. You could roll right out of there. Beautiful times down there. Thank you for calling, man. Nice to hear a call from Louisiana, dude. Beautiful place. Let's take another call here. 985-664-9503. The last show here in this studio. And that's kind of almost a little bit like leaving a place. It's like leaving a womb a little bit. I know these walls. I know this place. I know how my voice sounds in here. I know my lifeline. Nick Davis, the producer, Premature Nick, he showed up early. And he's been working hard ever since, bro. And it's kind of like that, you know, when you leave to a new place. Because I don't know what it's going to, I'm leaving, I'm out of town for 3 weeks, and then when I get back, we're going to be rocking and rolling. And it is pretty crazy to go back to the guy's question. It's crazy now to be going to like Australia to do stand-up shows. But I feel like it's not fake. I feel like I'm bringing a product that is good. You know, I think what would be scary would be going somewhere and not being able to do a good show, or a show that I think people are going to get their money's worth for. So that's what I hope to do. A lot of people have been asking about meet and greets after shows as well. A lot of them, the shows don't have them. I'm going to try to do as many as I can. After early shows, it's harder because we got to do the late show. But after late shows, I'm just going to try to do as many, just meet as many people as I can. So they'll usually just announce it at the end of the show. And thank you guys so much for all the people supporting and the tickets and stuff. It's crazy, man. I can't even, you know, it's like my dreams are kind of coming true. And we can think about that at a different time. I want to hear more about these mothers, man. That Sam's Club, dude, that's fucking wild. That rock tumbler.
Yo, Theo, what's up, man? It's Mike from Northern Virginia, which most people know as the less racist part of the state up here outside D.C. in the good old Politrick belt.
Oh, yeah, up there in Nova, dude. Yeah, let's hear more.
Anyway, man, Mother's Day hasn't always been easy. I lost my mom to cancer 15 years ago when I was 18, actually the day before I left for college.
Wow. I just want to take a little moment of silence for her, man. Let's hear the rest of your call.
As you know, losing a parent young can have a long-standing effect on you. For a lot of years, especially on Mother's Day, I think, bitter and resentful. But as I get older, I still miss her the same, but I've tried to change my mindset. I'm really working on that. Try to think about the joy and the happiness she brought to me instead of just being gone. Just thinking about her voice and her smile and her kindness towards others makes me happy. To me, she set the bar for how we're supposed to treat others, and I'm constantly working on imitating that in my own life. And, you know, now I'm seeing all the other moms in my life who've supported me, and I'm thankful for them as well and appreciate the impact they've had on me.
Amen, man. That's a great message. You know, and you know what's funny? Your blueprint, this is just my, you know, my 1 cent. Your blueprint for recognizing those other mothers probably wouldn't be there if your mother hadn't really created it, you know? So there, you know, it's just so amazing that your mother did the work that she did, where you're able to still see that, where you're able to recognize it in other people. Man, it's so powerful, dude. It's so powerful. Like, because I think about this. I think, so say, you know, your mother passed, and then years later, you know, you have an experience with a woman, a mother, you know, a motherly moment. And you tell her, wow, you know, hey, I just want to let you know, my mother passed away when I was young, and, you know, whatever you did or said, or it just really, you know, it hit me in that place where only my mother could hit me. Man, that's powerful. That's powerful for you. That's powerful for that person. Because then that person knows that they realize an effect they can have on somebody by doing whatever that action was, something joyous, you know, something loving, something, man, that's powerful, you know. You know, I'm amazed really by the power of connection a lot of times. I'm really amazed by it. And maybe I'm late to the game. Maybe people have been unamazed by it forever. But I'm a late bloomer. You know, it just took me a long time to get out of my shell in some ways. And I'm still halfway, you know, I'm still paying rent on that bench. You know what I mean, man? But thank you for calling and sharing the story about your mother. And I'm sure that she's thinking of you every day, man. Let's hear more.
Yo, Theo, this is Anonymous in Witness Protection in Kentucky.
Gang, dude. And this, I didn't know this call was coming in. I've always wanted a call like this to come in, man. And this is Witness Protection Program calling. So I'm going to throw my hat back on just to be a part of what's going on right now.
Back in the 80s, my mom had a technique in her 77 Monte Carlo when I was a teenager, like 14, 15 years old. I'd smart off to her on Mother's Day, and she would slam on the brakes and then backhand me as my face was flying forward, so it really smacked me in the mouth hard.
Dang, dog. Your mother sounds like Gary Payton, bro. She sounds like fucking pissed off Maravich, dude. She sounds like she got that, that dexterity. Onward.
I love her for that. Made me a better man. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang, man. Yeah, it's funny. My mother used to hit me a lot when I was young. She didn't have any choice. She was the only parent. She didn't have a choice. What, you gonna not hit some kid? You got 4 kids. Somebody about to get their ass beat. Somebody needs to. Especially when the mom's by themselves, they got the father's job too, and they can't do it all. But it's funny now, older, I don't remember those things, and some of them I choose not to remember. I choose not to remember my mother as a struggling woman who couldn't keep it together and who took some aggression out on her children. Because for one, it was good for me, and 2, I don't want to remember my mother that way. Now sometimes it creeps in and I do think of her that way and I hold grudges, but in the end, it's my choice. And I choose to try and remember her differently these days. I didn't always. I didn't even when this podcast started. But these days I choose to try and remember my mother differently. I just choose to try and remember her as a woman that needs love. And that I don't want to see struggle, because I know at the core of my mother, no matter what she had to do, spank us or whatever, I know that at the very core of her, she never, ever wanted us to see us struggle. And she did whatever her chart was, whatever her path was to try and navigate that. That's what she did. And so and that's where the choice is mine. It's like I can be upset sometimes at some of the things and the disconnection and and why I struggle in relationships now, because I don't have it's hard for me to trust women at a core level. But also then there's another thing where it's like I can just choose to not discuss any of that with my mother. I can choose to take that up with myself. Some stuff I discuss with her, but I can just choose to look at her differently and just try to love her, because in the end, it helps me get to a place where I just feel better then. The end of that road of trying to just be loving feels better than the end of the other road of just trying to hold that grudge forever and not learn from it or learn about it. But thank you for the call, man. Yeah, moms had some tricks up their sleeve, man, and not up their sleeve that freaking open-handed. That backhand, baby, you feel me? That backhand, man.
Hey, Theo, this is Dane from Springfield, Missouri, man. Gang, gang.
What's up, Dane from Springfield? And that's a beautiful area up there in Missouri. Missouri. That's what a lot of the older men up there call it, Missouri. Up there in Missouri. Homer?
Listen, talking about moms. My mom went to college and went to master's degree once we were all 3 of us were in school, and she was a speech pathologist. So one time, her favorite patient, his favorite band was Coldplay, and she went out of her way to email the tour manager, told him the whole story and the whole business, and worked her magic. And the tour manager paid for free concert tickets. The kid and his girlfriend got to go backstage and meet Chris Martin and the entire band.
Wow.
That was like the best night of that kid's life. And, that was something really cool my mom did, and I thought that was cool. So she passed away in 2012, and I know it's rough for some of us out there, no moms and all that. But anyway, listen, man, I really appreciate everything you do, and big fan of the show, man. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang, man. Well, she's alive right now, man. She's alive right now, and she's alive right now, and that's the kind of woman she was. It's interesting how a moment or two can really define somebody. And it's interesting how we have a lot of time in our life to really make that moment. You know, your mother probably did a lot of other things, but you chose to tell that moment where she was helping somebody else, not even you. Man, that's pretty powerful. Yeah, man. Well, she's still alive right here, right now with that story. That's why I love stories, man. They keep people alive, you know? And that's why I think they've been around since the beginning of time. Stories from mouth to mouth, from mouth to ear. Because, dude, videotape, think about it. The waters come, baby, or whatever, the electricity, you know? They start Voldemorting and the Lord starts going at it, sword fighting, and the clouds open up, or something goes awry at the Mars factory and too many Skittles for everybody drown in fucking, rainbow sugar pieces. All this electronic shit's gonna go. All we gonna have is just the mouth to ear. So thank you for giving us that. Let's take one more call. Here we go.
Hey Theo, happy Mother's Day. It's Alex from Houston. I'll tell you a little story about when I was in high school. One morning in particular, when I was 16 years old, I felt this tickling sensation over my face.
Oh, that's an uncle, dude. This is about mothers. And that was a bad joke. Thank you for calling, Alex. Let's hear more.
And when I opened my eyes, my mom was dangling this pink G-string over my face. And, I guess my girlfriend had spent the weekend and she had left that in the bed. And the only thing she said was, Alex, you need to respect a woman's body. And I guess I've been trying my best ever since. But anyway, my mom's my hero. She immigrated us to America legally from Taiwan.
Wow.
She's turning 60 at the end of the month, and it's Mother's Day this weekend, and she never got to get her graduation ring when she graduated from Michigan State. So I'm going to buy her that graduation ring that's dated for 95 this year. I love her, and thanks for doing the show. Big fan. Later.
Gang, hey. Bro. That's awesome, man. That's a good story, dude. You're going to get her that piece, that jewelry. That's touching, man. That's it. Yeah, that's exciting. It's exciting to think, I just sent my mother some flowers, but maybe I can learn more about her in the next year and think of something that could be a little more sentimental. Get her something she really, really has always wanted. Something about my mother, she doesn't like to tell you sometimes things she's always wanted, She has I don't know, she feels like she doesn't want to burden anybody. But that's beautiful, man. Congratulations. And it sounds like you're very proud of your mom.
Yo, Theo, what up? This is Gray from Todd, Texas.
What up from Tejas? Let's hear it, Papa. What's going on, Greg?
Close to that stray animal belt down there in Louisiana.
Yeah, man. That stray animal, dude. A lot of animals used to roam, boy. Roam, baby. Mice passing through like bison in the night. Onward.
Got a story about my mom. When I was in 8th grade in PE, I got a spanking by my coach for something that was irrelevant.
Damn, it sounds sexy out here in Hollywood. Do you tell some of these executive males that? God dang, boy. They'll put you in a damn movie at their house. Let's hear more.
Which for an 8th grader, that feels a little bit homoerotic.
Damn, that is, boy. Any spankings past the 5th grade is real questionable.
So I went home and told my mom. So my mom decided to go back up there. And what she told him was, if you ever touch my son again, I'm going to give you an ass whooping you will never forget.
Damn.
And that sounds like some Louisiana type shit. Something that your mom might do.
Well, sometimes that shit leaks over the border, because they don't have a wall down there. Let's hear more.
Anyways, gang, gang.
Gang, gang, man. Yeah, moms will step up for us and cheer us on sometimes. Sometimes they show up. And it's easier for, it has been easier for me to remember times when my mom didn't show up. But, when I think about when I take that edge off of myself and just try and find gratitude for things my mom did, it's a little bit easier to think of the time she did. And a lot of it is just hearing other people tell their stories. We had an Astro van. My mom used to throw, I just remembered, my birthday parties at the roller rink. And man, we always had the best cake. She always went across the lake to get the cake to New Orleans. And everybody else got some local cake, and we got this nice cake from over there. She would get it every time because she knew we liked it. They don't get a lot of thanks. Or maybe they do, and maybe I'm just speaking from my own life. You know, and maybe sometimes I don't want to thank my mother, or there's something inside of me that doesn't want to thank people, that doesn't want to, you know, that's not the good part of me. I've got to go against that. Whatever that thing inside of me says, I'm not going to call her. I'm not going to say this. That's the dark arts. That's the thing that doesn't want you to do well, or to be well, or to feel well, or to make others feel well. And you got to step over that thing. And you got to take control. And also, I don't know what I'm talking about. So there's all of that in there. We'll get to more Patreon questions next week. Dude, some great calls, man. Thank you so much. 985-664-9503, as always, is the hotline. There are new shows going on sale this week. Some extra shows in a couple of cities, and I think those cities are Atlanta. Got a new show going on. Let me see. Yeah, Atlanta. Oh, wait, Austin, Oklahoma City, Sacramento, and Atlanta. I think all those places have some new shows going on as well. Tickets are available now for Glasgow, Dublin, Oslo, Stockholm, London, Manchester, and Amsterdam. That's crazy. I can't even believe that we have to do all these shows, but fuck, dude, I have to go on stage in Australia in a couple weeks. There won't be an episode next week. I'm taking a break. So there will be guest episodes on the Thursdays, but there won't be one next weekend. I'm just taking a break. And this is a great place to take a break. And I'm going to miss the studio, man. I'm going to miss it. You know, and I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen at the new studio. We got more room. But there'll be more room, I think, just for, you know, when little Gianni comes in to help with the booking. We got, you know, the lovely finance lady. We might get her, you know, get her a desk or something, do something like that, get her a little art. You know, we're going to try to work on a cartoon full time with Papio. But just thank you so much for everything, man. You guys have, you know, this has been a blast. This has been a real blast. And we're going to do a lot of good with the momentum that we've created. And I hope that you hold us to that, because we're going to hold ourselves to that as well. We'll finish out this Mother's Day episode with the second half of that Evan Bartels, The Devil, God, and Me. The link to his song will be on the YouTube. Thank everybody. Thank you for the Patreon support. Yeah, and even though you called your mom yesterday, you can call her again if you want, you know. And dads too. You know, I know we don't get into dads, and we'll do a special section thing for them sometime. And next week, I don't know what we'll talk about. Oh, we're not going to talk about anything. You guys be good to yourselves, man. You deserve it, and thank you so much for the wonderful calls. Gang.
Well, devil, I do have your name stuck in my ear, and I'm to blame. No, I beg you, let me be. Devil, you ignore my plea. The crown of lies I wear in shame. What I would give to try again. Oh, death.
Oh, death.
You can come for me. Oh, death. But you can't comfort me.
Give a sayonara from the studio, Nick.
Well, Jesus, may I
Thank you, guys.
Grace. Jesus, though I hide my face, and will you cast my doubts away? Take my sins down to the grave. If there is hope, then let me see. There is life for those like me. Oh, death, you can come for me. Oh, death, Lord, but you can't comfort me. Oh, death, you can come for me. Oh,